This is about the American dream before it was here, the adventures of Tom Paine. An unemployed, self-educated, once widowed, once divorced, former sailor, girls' school teacher, taxman, corset maker, and alcoholic in his mid-30s, Tom Paine met Ben Franklin in London 250 years ago this month and helped to change the world, perhaps, we hope, forever. They met at a meeting for amateur inventors and would-be philosophers. Ben liked him and wrote him a letter of introduction, suggesting he'd make a good surveyor in the colonies. Instead, within a year and a half of his arrival in Pennsylvania, Tom's writing was electrifying the country. His short book, Common Sense, being read aloud in taverns and churches and before public gatherings throughout the American colonies, rallied men and women of all backgrounds to the cause of not just rebellion, but revolution. As he wrote, "We have it in our power to begin the world again." Published 6 months before the Declaration of Independence, this work solidified support among the common folk. The farmer, the general store owner, the innkeeper, the dock worker, the school teacher, the wagon maker, the laborer, all were inspired to join the struggle by Tom's words. And when the revolution was in trouble in the times of Valley Forge, Tom came through with his crisis papers, a series of essays that were read aloud to our soldiers. These are the times that try men's souls. The summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will, in this crisis, shrink from the service of their country. But he that stands by it now deserves the love and the thanks of man and woman. Tyranny, like hell, is not easily conquered. Yet we have this consolation with us, that the harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph. We now, in the 248th year of our revolution, with all its shortcomings, all its blemishes, all its injustice and economic unfairness, are still striving, still struggling to keep our revolution moving forward. Tom was one of the earliest advocates of some form of Social Security, abolition of slavery, and women's rights. These are still a part of the core, along with indigenous, minority, immigrant, gay, identity and voting and disability rights, and the environment that we fight for today, as we are confronted with a profound threat to the extraordinary progress that has been achieved through the vision, blood, sweat, and tears of our forebears. Authoritarianism and dictatorship are attempting to push their way into our revolutionary, imperfect democracy. We must ask ourselves, will we let them in to pull us backwards 250 years to tyranny? Or will we stand for freedom, equality, and liberty? Tom spent his life fighting kings and dictators, and we can be sure that his spirit is out in the streets now, leading the fight against the American Mussolini and authoritarianism and for democracy. We must ask ourselves, are we the summer soldiers or sunshine patriots? Or are we going to be the advocates for and defenders of what many would call the greatest continuing revolution in the history of the world, by showing up at the ballot box and bringing anyone we can along with us? Only you can answer this call. I'm River Smith with a comment for Satyagraha Arts, Conspiracy to Love, and Liberation Brew TV.